Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So, you've been wondering how to become an artist, and you've always wanted to try something new, but you never know where to start. So, today I'm going to help you start your artist career or even as a hobby. Okay, the first thing that you would need is something to write with. You can use a normal pencil, a pen, a mechanical pencil, whatever you have, doesn't matter. Anything that you can write with is good enough for now. After that, you need paper. Now, you can use a larger paper like this, an A4 size, and a sketchbook. But if this is too intimidating for you, that's okay. You can use something smaller like this, which is almost an A5. Or if you don't have any specific paper, that's fine too. Just use any printer paper or anything you have at hand. So that's the basic things that you're going to need at this moment. In the future, we're going to add to it. And if you're going to buy something, I suggest that you buy something small like this, a small sketchbook like this for yourself, so you can start sketching whenever you have time, whenever you have some time and schedule to add, so you can use it to the best of your knowledge and abilities. So something small, something easy that you can put in your pocket or bag. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is the subjects that we're going to focus on in these courses. So first off, the first thing that we're going to focus on is line. One of the most important tools that you would have and need, one of the most important elements to any artist. So that is the first subject that we're going to do today. After that, we're going to talk about shapes. 2D and 3D. So this is the next subject that we're going to talk about in our next video. And then shadows and hatching. I'll tell you why each one of these are important. And then one of the most important subjects, especially if you're an architect, is perspective. Okay, so perspective is another subject that we're going to talk about, and after that, hopefully if you guys like the subjects and how I'm telling you, we can go into the subjects of color and different types of tools that we can use for it. So today we want to talk about line and how and what is a line. Okay, 1 second, I forgot one thing here. These are the subjects that we're going to talk about, but there's actually one more thing in between. That is our next video is what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about texture. Texture is an important subject that we can use, and it kind of related again, we will connect it later on with hatching. So they're actually a little bit linked, so we'll talk about these two and hatching a little bit here and here. Alright, so that's our next subject for our next video. So our first element that we're going to talk about is line and how to create it. Are all lines equal? The answer is no. Not all lines are equal. So that's why we have to know what we're going to work with. So in general, we can say that we have 3 types of line in art and architecture. Because I'm an architect, I will reference architecture here and there. So the first one is what I can call sketch lines. Sketch lines are mostly used by architects, but artists use them every now and then in different places whenever they want to use a strong and a steady line. So a sketch line is something that is fast and is strong. As you can see, there's no hesitation here. That is what we call a sketch line. The next is, let's say, a slow and steady line. Slow and steady. Slow and steady is one of the most useful lines you can use in any type of art, whether it's a drawing or an architectural building that you're drawing. And it's very easy that you start from one point that you want and you go slow and steady. We're going to talk about this more today. And the last one is, I don't have a specific name for it. I don't know if artists have a name for it. Is, let's say, partial lines. And the S here is important because there's more than one when we're talking about this type of line. These are used a lot in drawings. So, and you have to be very specific at how to use these. You have to be very careful on how to use partial lines. So partial lines is like this. You draw a short line and then you stop and then you continue. You have to be careful how you do it, because if you don't do it precisely, you're going to make chicken scratch kind of lines that are horrible. Never do that. So if you can master this is one of the harder ones technically, but if you can master it, you can draw almost anything that you want. So these are the lines that we're going to talk about, especially this one. The first one that we're going to talk about more is this one. We'll use sketch lines a little bit more in the subject of shapes. And patch lines, you'll use them regardless of what I tell you in the future. Okay, now I'm going to give you some easy subjects to practice with so you can perfect your line work. So, how to practice line in line work? The first practice that you should start doing, and you should do it multiple times a week, is drawing a simple line from first left to right on your page and paper. So again, if this page is a little bit intimidating to you, that's okay. You can use something more smaller and easier like this so you can get the hang of it. But if you're going to start with something like this, use it this way. Use it in a horizontal way because it's easier to draw left and right, because after that we're going to draw from up to down. So as a beginner, that's okay. You can use a smaller sketchbook at the beginning, but slowly and steadily get yourself a bigger page, something bigger, so you can increase your ability and skills. So the first thing that you should do, draw a simple line from left to right. Now if you're right-handed, left to right. If you're left-handed, opposite. All of these, usually you have to do it, the left and right is opposite for right and left-handed. So let's start drawing. So don't go fast. Use the slow and steady line work. Start going slow. Don't worry if you go up or down or left or right. And stop before you get to the end. Around a centimeter before you get, or half an inch, whichever measurement you prefer. And then after that, go down about a centimeter or half an inch down, and then draw the next line. Stop about the same place. Again, don't worry if you're going up or down, if it's not exactly the same size. We're not robots, we're not computer programs. You want to be an artist. An artist goes slow and steady, and they make mistakes. That's the beauty of art. You make mistakes. That's part of it. And then again, we keep going. Keep going until you fill in the whole paper from left to right. Let your hand be free. Don't force it. Don't let it get stuck on anything. You could make a small dot at the beginning, at the end. If you don't want to, that's okay too. That's not part of the practice. You can finish it there. one of the things that you should be careful when you're drawing is that your point of view isn't what you think it is. So to understand better that what you're drawing is what you're thinking, is pick up your paper or your sketchbook, whatever you have, and put it in front of you. Put it in front of you and look at it. And when you do, you will see that if you're going on a straight line or if you're going a little bit up or down. So if you're going a little bit up, straighten it. If you're not, then they're okay. So I'm going a little bit up, not too much, but I have to be careful. If I continue this path, I might go a little bit too much. All right, so always do that. Whenever you're drawing something, always look at it at afar so you can understand your mistakes better. Now, some artists might tell you that you shouldn't tilt your page, which they're not wrong, but it's art. You can do almost whatever you like. So, after you're done, that's the first part of our work. Okay, now that we're done with the horizontal lines, next we're going to do the opposite, the verticals. So to do that, I'm going to move this a little bit here. You have to go from up to down. Now, this doesn't matter if you're right-handed or left-handed. Either way, almost always, whenever you want to make a vertical line, always do it up to down. Okay, start from somewhere around here. You can move, if you have more space, you can do it from above and go slowly. Don't worry if you're not completely straight. This one is much harder than the horizontal ones. As you can see, it's pretty difficult. Again, a space about a centimeter or half an inch. Keep coming down. Go slow and steady. You have to be patient with this practice. And the thing that you should be careful is if your pencils has a lot of graphite on it, don't put your whole hand on the paper and bring it up and down, or else you're gonna smudge your whole page. Put your hand a little bit above, but if you're okay with that, with some smudging, that's fine. You can put your hand like this. It'll give you more control, as you can see, and you can make a much better page. Or if you want to, if you're worried about that, you can put a piece of paper or something under your hand and use that as cover. That's used a lot in drawing. Whenever you're drawing on something like a graphite, a pencil, anything, you can always use something to cover your hand so it won't smudge your paint, your drawing, or anything that you're doing. But as you can see, it's okay. It's not smudging as much. So I'll continue just like this. And at around midpoint or near it, check your page and see if you're going straight. Sometimes you might start tilting a bit. If you're doing that, straighten. I'm doing pretty good, not too bad. So I'll keep going. And there we go. Now, after we're finished with the vertical and horizontal lining, we're going to go into like an almost 45-degree line work. So you can start from each end and go to the other end if you like, or it doesn't matter. If you want to just be free and just do it a simple shape, that's okay too. Give it a simple tilt do your line work and keep going. Go slow and steady. Don't rush it. The more you rush it, the worse it might get. Now here I don't have any specific points, so I'm just going to wing it. Focus on distance between each line, that's the most important part. Doesn't matter where you start or finish. Okay. Now, after that, we're going to do it the same thing in the opposite direction. So, you can start from up here, which I don't suggest. I suggest you start from down here. That'll make it easier. So it's the same thing, but in an opposite direction. Focus again on the distance. Don't worry about where you start or stop. Like here, I went a little bit too far. That's okay. Go slow and steady. Don't speed it up like this. Don't do that. Go slow and steady. That's the key word you should focus on in this practice. Now, how many pages? We're going to focus on pages for this practice. You should do about 5 to 10 pages of this practice per week for at least a few weeks or more until you get the hang of it and you feel that, hey, I'm doing good. You get the confidence that you can easily draw a simple line without being scared or upset that, oh, my line isn't that good. And there we go. So this is the first practice that you should start doing in your line work. Okay, now let's go to our next practice that you should do. For this one, we're going to use our smaller notebook because it's kind of difficult and it'll take a long time if we want to do it on the bigger sketch pad. So you can, if you have a piece of paper, you could cut it down in half, or you can use a sketchbook like this in a size like A5, which is smaller. Now, the practice basically is the same, but this time we're going to keep a continuous form and we're going to go all around and keep going as much as you can and as far as you can. So again, start drawing slowly. And this time, when you get at the end, don't take your hands off. Go down like a quarter of an inch or like 1 or 2 millimeters and then go back. For this practice, it's good that you keep your hands up above the air so you can move it easily. And then we keep going. Don't worry if your lines aren't straight, that's fine. And then we go down. We go left to right, right to left. And we keep doing this until we get to the end of the page. Be careful not to go too fast because this practice is a little bit intense because you're keeping your hands up above the air, and it's gonna be a little bit hard. So be careful of your speed and try to finish the lines almost at the same level. You don't need to do this practice as often as the other one. The other one, that it's good to do it like 5 to 10 pages per week. This one you can do like maybe 2 or 3 per week. That's good enough. You don't need to do that much. This will help you build the stamina and concentration for future works and drawings. Now if your hands get really tired, that's okay. You can stop, rest, and then continue. That's fine. Don't push yourself too hard. Okay, at the end you can stop wherever you like. Okay, I'm gonna go one more line. And there. Now, we're not done yet. This was just part 1. Next, we're going to do this the opposite way, but always relax your arms. Yeah, stretch them out a little bit. Don't force them. Give them a little bit of shake, and then we can continue. Alright, now we're going to go to the second part of this practice. We did the horizontal lines, now we're going to do the vertical. Start wherever you like, somewhere around here, and we can go from, yes, I told you that you should go up to down, but for this practice, we can do this both ways. It's a good practice to do it both. And usually doing the vertical lines is a little bit more difficult, so that's why we put the height, which is harder, in the smaller area. If you think half an inch or a few centimeters is too small for you, that's okay. You can do it a little bit bigger. You can go for half an inch, like something like this. This will also help you not be afraid of making mistakes. That's one of the most important things, which you have to be careful. Okay. Okay, the next practice that we're going to do is going to be a little bit more interesting and a little bit more fun and free. So we're going to draw some line cube shapes. So start wherever you like, doesn't matter. It can be this part, this, wherever you like. Be at the middle. So I'm going to start here. So start drawing a simple line and then go back, go forward, and then circle around like this. Keep going. Draw something like a maze shape. Keep going, yeah. Draw small lines and then go as big as you want. You can keep going, go. Again, don't worry if your lines aren't straight. Just keep drawing. And then you can keep going. Like here, I'm gonna keep going. This time I'm gonna go here. Now I'm gonna go in the opposite direction. Okay, this time I'm gonna stop here at the midpoint. That's fine. And then I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna make it a little bit different. I'm gonna go for a rectangular shape this time. And you can keep going as far and as long as you want and can. So I almost finished it, so you can see it on how it might turn out, and that's the practice. You can do it whichever way you like, so enjoy. Okay, now this part we're going to do something a little bit more interesting. First, we're going to talk about how to draw a basic practice with anatomy and using it as a subject. So there are different sites that you can use to give you different structures of anatomy and different references that you need. This is the one that I suggest that you can use. There's different options that you can choose, like what type of model you want. It includes different types of male or female. Which do you want to draw an adult? What kind of session? Now this part is actually pretty good. That it can be a classic mode or a structural mode. And the time interval that it says here, it's going to include in your practice, and it's going to help you a lot to get a structure and a basic idea and a warm-up to improve your lining skills and how to write and line the best. And as you hit the button, it will generate different types of models for you to use and to practice with. This is the model that we're going to do a silhouette of. So the thing is that you have to be really relaxed and don't worry about anything. Just try to have fun, and it doesn't have to look real, it doesn't have to even look like a person. The only purpose here is for you to draw something and to relax your arm, your writing, your line work, everything. Okay? So start wherever you like and try to limit yourself. At the beginning you can start about 4 or 5 minutes and bring it down to maybe 1 or even 30 seconds if you like. Okay? So let's begin. Just use easy, simple lines. Doesn't matter if and done. That's it. That's all you need to do for this practice. Here's our second model. Now it's better that you choose models that have you have a full body, or at least most of their body is visible. And again, don't worry about if it even looks like a person or not. That's not the point here. The point is for you to relax and start drawing and be able to draw line work as easy as possible. Okay, and you can use whatever size you like. If you wanted to draw bigger, draw bigger. If you want to draw smaller, draw in a smaller format. That's fine. There's no limitations for this practice. and done, finished. You don't need anything else. If you want, you can add more, focus a little bit more on some small details that you like, but in general, that's all you need to do for this line practice. So start with these practices, and in the next video we're going to focus a little bit more on on more detailed items. So remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video and if you're learning something, and leave a comment on what you want me to do and draw in the future. Alright, so see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.